ChatGPT is dumb. Let's get that out there. It's very dumb, meaning it is not going to be useful to you unless you know how to talk to ChatGPT so it gets you the information that you are looking for, or it gets you the responses that you're looking for. So it depends on prompts, and prompts is really the instructions or the text that you type in that the tool is going to use to generate a response. And it's similar to Google when you're talking about search. There's a particular way to search on platforms like Google so you can find the information that you're looking for. So we talk about keywords, etc. It's the same for ChatGPT prompts, right? And so there are four things you need to know when you're writing a chat GPT prompt. And the first thing is you have to be extremely specific and extremely clear about what it is that you are asking the prompt to do. So if you look at the example on your screen, I've asked ChatGPT to write a detailed essay about the Norton rule for a first year law student. Of course, I was going to use a law prompt because my background is in law. Shout out to law students out there. I'm clearly telling ChatGPT what exactly it is that I want it to do by using action words. And my first action word here is write. So it can be write, it can be describe, it can be explain, but using an action word is actually telling ChatGPT exactly how to respond to you. Next is you have to outline the subject. So the subject here is the McNaughton rule. That's what I wanted to write a detailed essay about. So what is the about? What is the thing that you want it to search for and give you a response to? And then you have to describe the action as well. So write and then a detailed essay. So the detailed essay part is you describing the action. So you don't just say write about the not rule because you may just get a paragraph or two. But what you want is if you're a law student and you have to write about this for an essay or for an assignment, you want details. So when I tell ChatGPT that I want a detailed explanation, it's going to detail the elements, give me overviews, give me judgment, sometimes even give me quotations. If in my prompt I asked it for quotations from famous judgments using the McNaughton rule. So the more specific I get with ChatGPT is the more specific the results I get. And then I gave it context. So who is ChatGPT writing this essay for? Or what is the style or the tone that I want the essay to take? I want ChatGPT to know that I'm a first year law student. And what does that suggest? It suggests that I may not be as familiar with the McNaughton rule, but I want to sound professional. And it may be that I want an introductory explanation or essay about what the McNaughton rule is. So I'm telling ChatGPT that listen, I'm new to this subject and I want you to write a detailed essay about it. Sometimes it's so that I can understand. I could have said write a detailed explanation about what this is for a first year law student. And so that for that couches the prompt in a particular context, and that tells ChatGPT how to write the thing, the tone of the text, etc. So that is how you would write a prompt as a student. So it could be any subject. So just ensure that you are specific. And by being specific, I mean using action words again, describing the action that the tool needs to take, input the subject, right? And then give it context. And the context will explain or will give the tone that you want the essay or the explainer or the description to take. What Humata does is you can upload a document, whatever the document is, you don't want to read through all of that. Ain't nobody got time to be reading through all of that. So you want to be able to summarize the document, and that's what this tool will do for you. So you go to Humata. I find the document on my desktop or wherever the document is. I click upload, it's gonna upload the document. The document gets uploaded to Humata, and then I get to ask I or tell the AI what I want it to do. So I want to summarize document. Even if you type it wrong, clearly the AI knows what it is that you're asking because see summarize document. So you can either say a brief summary of the document, or you can just put summarize document. So here's a brief summary of the document that it gave me, but then I wanted to do something else because remember, when you're talking about generative AI, what it does is it's not like unlike Google search where you put in one search term and then it searches for you and then that's it and you have to then put in another search term. You can actually have conversations with this tool just like ChatGPT. And so the follow-up thing that I want Humata to do is find something specific within this document. So what do I want to find? Let's say I want to find out what does this document say about AI policy, about how to create AI policy. So what does this document say about AI policy? And then it is going to scan through the document. But the best thing about this is so it over here it tells me that listen, the document discusses the ethical information implications of AI and highlights the need for blah 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 blah. But then what it does is it gives me the pages. So it tells me which page I need to click on to find this information. So and what it does is it highlights the sections too that make sense for what it is that I asked it. So if I say 14, it takes me to page 14. If I say page 15, it takes page 15, but then it highlights the specific um, section of page 15 that relates to the prompt. All right. So this is how you use this tool, and it's called Humata dot AI, and it you have to create an account, right? But it is a freemium tool, which means you have um, a limited free version, which means it says that with the basic version, you can upload a document max size 60 pages and process up to 60 pages for free. But the pro version, guys, is not that expensive. It's like $14.99 per month, and that's a flat fee. And you can process unlimited pages, unlimited. You can ask it unlimited questions, unlimited amount of PDFs, and you can get the summary. You can actually download the summary or the questions and the responses up to 250 pages, and then you get $1 per additional 100 pages you process, right? So it is not that expensive a tool. So what this tool does is, again, it all starts with a prompt. You give it a prompt telling it exactly what you want it to do. Remember I showed you in ChatGPT how to write a prompt about the insanity defense, which is the Manhattan rule. Say, for instance, I want to turn that essay into a PowerPoint presentation. All I did was, say, for instance, I said create what I wanted to create, and it has several prompts there that I wanted to create. So you can use this for anything, but what I wanted to create is a presentation. So I click create presentation about the McNaughton rule for a class for a let's put back the same prompt that I put in chat GPT. I would say it was for a first year law student. For a first year law student, and I wanted to add images with images, and I also wanted to highlight judgments and judgments. So again, remember we're using action words, which in this instance you don't have to do because it starts with a prompt. So it says, "What do you want me to do?" And it then gives you a selection of things. So you're already selecting that you want to create a presentation. So you don't have to do that here, but you still have to tell it how you want the presentation to look. You still have to tell it what you want in the presentation. So you want images, you want judgments in the presentation, and you still have to give it the subject, which is the McNaughton rule, and the context, which is for a first year law student. And then all you're going to do is click enter, and it's going to create the presentation. All right. And so it's now generating the presentation over here. Now, this is what it came up with. This is a presentation it came up with. The insanity defense, not rule for dummies. No, the reason why it says for dummies is because I said first year law student, and I asked it to put judgments in and use images, etc. So it interprets that to mean you're a beginner and you know nothing about this, and so give me something that will dumb it down for me so I understand. Okay, even creating a table of content page, guys. Okay, introduction, criticism, alternatives, and it lays it out. Now, the images are rubbish. Can I tell you? I've tried this prompt like 5 million ways, and all the images turn out to be absolutely rubbish. But what this tool does really well is helps you, and in terms of using it, you're really using it to generate a outline that you can then tweak, right? Because another thing you need to learn with these AI tools is that it can only give you information from whatever data it is able to access, the data source that it is able to access. And so at all times you need to go back and go through it, even with ChatGPT, go through and make sure that it is giving you the right information. But it is a really great for if you're stuck on an assignment and you don't know how to begin and you don't know how to lay it out. It gives you a really good starting point, where you can pull from to write your essay. This other one is called teachanything.com. Sticking to the theme here, which is the McNaughton rules, write a detailed essay about the McNaughton rule for a first year law student. I can then, any language, guys, it has a ton of language here. Any language, Spanish, Dutch, French, Chinese, English. I select the language and then I tell it the level of difficulty. So if I'm a professor, I want it to sound like a professional wrote it. But if I'm a student, I may want a more easy tone, or depending on the audience that you're writing it for. Do you want it to be a simplified language, etc., because you're talking to an audience that may not know what you're talking about, so you're introducing a topic to an audience? Then it's a more easy, laid back, casual kind of tone. It lays out the principle for me here, and then it tells me how to apply it. So it gives me the principle, then it gives me the application. So what you could do then, if you're like me and you like to pull from several different sources, I will use it. I will use all these tools, putting the same prompt, see what they bring up, and then cut and paste in our document. I never said that. I did not tell you that. I did not tell you that. But that's what I'm just saying what I would do. I would use the different tools, pull from the different tools to put my essay together. But then, guys, this is what you need to do, because there's no tool that a teachers can use to determine whether or not your essays, presentations, whatever, were written by AI. Make sure that when you're writing it, you write it like how you would normally write. Because when you are taking something off the internet, or when you're using an AI generated tool, it may not be the same tone or language or context or cultural cues. It may not have the same cultural cues. And so you have to learn how to take this information, rewrite it in your own style, in your own way that makes sense for the situation that you're in, whether it's a class or your job, etc. So it don't sound fake and it don't sound like you didn't write it. That's a logical, sensible thing to do. So don't just copy and paste everything that the AI give you. Take in the information, make sure you understand it, and then rewrite it in your own words using, make sure you're using the right citation, etc. I may need to do a part two of this because, guys, there are so many tools. And I've actually started creating a list of tools and I'm going through and testing them. So I may do a part two, three, four, five. It depends. And especially now that I know that I have students from high school who's doing the digital media CAPE unit who uses my videos, or teachers who uses my videos to teach the digital media cape unit. I'm so excited. I'm so happy for that. Yes, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We've just hit 1K subscribers. We want to keep that momentum going. Follow us over on social media. I'm digital.jamaica just about everywhere. You can follow me personally on LinkedIn. Kadia Francis, find me, follow me. Let's share more information, collaborate, and create awesome things together.